Hello, welcome to Just the Discs. We talk about Blu-rays here. My name's Brian, and I'm going to do a little bit of an unboxing today. I'm sure you're seeing these now, people getting their January Vinegar Syndrome packages, and I just got mine, and it includes some fun new stuff, including the Vinegar Syndrome Labs titles, and at least one title from the partner labels that I am very, very, very excited about. But let me start with 4K. And this is pretty great. Doesn't look too terrible in terms of the cover. This is From Beyond, Stuart Gordon's film From Beyond, which is something of a sequel / sister film to, of course, Reanimator. And I've come to really like this movie a lot, to the point where I watch it more than I watch Reanimator, which, you know, some might find blasphemous in terms of, like, Reanimator is the exalted classic, and From Beyond is certainly well beloved, too, but I think From Beyond has sort of eclipsed it as my favorite Stuart Gordon film. As weird and as kinky as this movie is, whatever that says about me. But I was really excited that Vinegar Syndrome announced this one, and it's looking pretty cool. Contains the unrated director's cut From Beyond, presented in HDR and newly restored from its 35mm original camera negative. Archival commentary, actually multiple commentary tracks, one with the screenwriter, one with Stuart Gordon and the cast. Newly produced special feature. Blu-ray disc 1 contains everything on the UHD disc plus the following newly produced special feature. Re-Resonator, looking back at From Beyond, 97 minutes, a brand new making of documentary featuring interviews with actors Jeffrey Combs, Barbara Crampton, and Ken Foree, screenwriter Dennis Paoli, producer Brian Usna, film editor Lee Percy, composer Richard Band, Foley artist Vanessa Ament, effects supervisors Michael Deek and Anthony Dublin, effects artist William Butler, Gabriel Bartalos, John Nolan, and Robert Kurtzman. Wow, that is a pretty epic new special feature, a full-length documentary there, and all kinds of archival stuff here. Now, I don't know if this matches up exactly to the Scream Factory release of, From Beyond, but I'm going to assume that it's listed, there's a bunch here listed at 2012, and that sounds about like when Scream Factory put their version out. But anyway, I am super excited about From Beyond in 4K. Really can't wait to dig into this again. This is a movie I watch not quite every year, but it's becoming something of a favorite in that sense. The other 4K, and this is the VSU, is Sidekicks, the Chuck Norris joint here with Joe Piscopo and the late Jonathan Brandis. And this is one that I barely remember. I think I've seen it, but then I heard Joe Begas, who's actually in the commentary on this, describe the movie, and I was like, God, I don't know. Maybe I haven't seen this. I've seen a ton of Chuck Norris when I was a kid, but I don't know. And then, like, this stuff, this artwork is newish, but it looks familiar. This is 4K UHD, and it has feature presentation of Sidekicks presented in HDR, newly restored from its 35mm camera negative, and the following sound options: stereo, etc. Brand new commentary with director Aaron Norris, and a fan commentary with filmmaker Joe Begas and friends. So that's cool. I'm looking forward to both of those. Everything on the UHD, on the Blu-ray, everything on the UHD disc, plus the following special features. Butch on Sidekicks, an interview with director Aaron Norris, 36 minutes. Producing Sidekicks, 19 minutes. Interview with producer Don Carmody. Kata Queen, 40 minutes. Interview with actress Julia Nixon. Designing Sidekicks, 47 minutes. Interview with production designer Ruben Freed. Editing Sidekicks, 34 minutes. An interview with film editor Bernard Weiser. Wow, they really went all out for this Sidekicks 4K UHD release. It should be not a surprise, as they've done a really wonderful job with all their VSU releases so far, and of course comes in their patented magnetic box and has like a little magazine style booklet, and cool interior artwork. So that is Sidekicks. Those are the 4Ks. Now, let's get into the Vinegar Syndrome Labs titles. Very excited about these. This is what I was kind of hoping for when they announced Vinegar Syndrome Labs, and they said it would be, stuff that you wouldn't know, I guess sort of normally, I'm paraphrasing here, but expect from Vinegar Syndrome. And so we're getting these classic films from the 40s and 50s. The first one announced was Flesh and Fantasy. And this one, definitely I'm excited for both, but this one really has my attention. This has got a really cool cast, including, it's award-winning director Julien Duvivier, delivers Flesh and Fantasy, three strange and at times surreal stories of the supernatural with an all-star cast that includes Edward G. Robinson, Barbara Stanwyck, and Charles Boyer, who also co-produced. Stunningly photographed by Oscar winner Stanley Cortez, who shot The Magnificent Ambersons and Night of the Hunter, among others, and lushly scored by Oscar nominee Alexander Tansman, Vinegar Syndrome Labs presents the Blu-ray debut of this landmark 1940s genre filmmaking. In genre filmmaking, newly restored in 2K, featuring insightful critical appreciations with rare archival materials. Newly scanned and restored from its 35mm dupe negative. Brand new commentary track with film historian author Barry Forshaw and Kim Newman. That was very exciting when I saw this was announced. Two of my favorite commentators in the game. I think they're a great duo. So I can't wait to hear their thoughts on this. I've never seen this film, so that's all the more exciting. Fate News, or The Dark World of Julien Duvivier, a featurette with French film director Christophe Gans. So that's not a ton of stuff, but it's plenty for me, and very exciting to see this anthology horror-ish film get a nice Blu-ray release. This is probably going to be maybe the first thing I dig into from this set. So that's number one for Vinegar Syndrome Labs. Number two, we have Karuku, the Beast of the Amazon. I do like these embossed slipcases. They're very nice. Like nothing your eyes have ever seen before. So this one is from 1956. Flesh and Fantasy is from 1943. So again, I like that they're going into the sort of the classic era, and I hope that's what they'll continue to do with these. I will say I do kind of wish they were included as part of the package. If you're subscribing. But I know that they want to try these out and see, and you wouldn't really get a sense, I guess, if they were included, how people were feeling about them if they don't have to buy them separately. But anyway, this is from famed writer-director Kurt Siodmak, writer of The Wolfman, I Walked with a Zombie, and Donovan's Brain, and comes the most notorious jungle shocker of the 50s, Karuku, Beast of the Amazon, starring 50s B-movie legend John Bromfeld, who's in Revenge of the Creature. Cult movie icon Beverly Garland, alongside Tom Paine. Vinegar Syndrome Labs offers this criminally overlooked, studio-produced shocker on Blu-ray for the first time, newly restored from its completely uncensored 35mm dupe negative. New 2K scan. Brand new commentary with film historian author Barry Forshaw and Kim Newman. I do hope these guys are the poster gents for the commentaries on these. They are a great selection. I don't know how many Newman Forshaw commentaries we've seen on Vinegar Syndrome titles, so this is if not the first, some of the first. Archival video featurette with writer-director Kurt Siodmak as well. Very much looks like an interesting movie. When reports of a clawed beast cause hundreds of natives to flee their Brazilian plantation jobs, the landowners send a macho troubleshooter aptly named Rock Dean and cancer-researching Dr. Andrea Romar deep into the rainforest for a steamy odyssey of dance numbers, headhunters, blowguns, gore-happy savages, and one of the most infamous monsters in horror history. Yeah, no, I'm into it, man. From Universal. Another Universal acquisition. Then we have... This is stuff I'm less familiar with. This is the Hong Kong, Made in Hong Kong Volume 1. These are all, I believe, all Category 3 films. Nice booklet. Nice side-loading hard slipcase. And then this set, which includes... Yeah, they don't even have any pictures on here, which makes me sure this is going to be intense. Includes The Demon's Baby from 1998, Erotic Nightmare from 1999, and The Deadly Camp from 1999. Demon's Baby. Legend has it, many years ago, 5 evil spirits were trapped inside ornate jars and sealed in the mountains to protect humanity from destruction. However, when a power-hungry ruler searching for a treasure raids a secret chamber that houses these jars, he brings them home to his 5 wives with the other riches he uncovers, unaware of the power created. Yeah, we know where this is going. That's bad news. Erotic Nightmare, 1999. Sexually frustrated due to his wife's medical condition, Yep finds himself preoccupied, dreaming about erotic encounters with beautiful women. Thanks to a chance encounter, Yep meets a modern-day sorcerer who promises to give him erotic dreams beyond his wildest imagination. That never goes well either. Deadly Camp, 1999. A group of friends take a boat to a remote island to camp out and party for a few days. After arriving on the island, they soon discover the people they were there to meet seem to have gone missing. Yeah, also bad news. Let's see here. So that is this Made in Hong Kong Volume 1 set. Okay. And then next we have... Let's see here. Well, you know what? Let me talk about the AGFA title that's really one of my favorites of this whole group, and one that I didn't necessarily think I would get on Blu-ray, but I'm excited to have it. That is Attack of the Beast Creatures. This is from I want to say like 80 something. 85. And yeah, I've talked about this on Pure Cinema. This is a favorite of mine that I've got a bootleg of. It is nuts. About a bunch of people who end up on an island, sort of shipwrecked, and they are attacked by puppets like that guy. Red-faced, white-eyed, crazy puppets that bite their arms and legs and generally are a nuisance and killing them. A beloved regional horror vortex that was conjured in Connecticut. Attack of the Beast Creatures is a triumph of low budget and ingenuity. In an unknown galaxy, a group of travelers crash their boat on an island. At first, all is well, but when a man takes a dip in an acid lake and becomes a steaming pile of gloop, it's clear that there's trouble in paradise. That's when the cult of demon dolls reveal themselves, and their appetite for eating eating faces, fueled by the outrageous score, a sublime synthesizer score, jaw-dropping puppet effects. This is what happens when a mid-century creature feature collides with DIY surrealism and everybody wins. AGFA's honored to present Attack of the Beast Creatures, originally known as Hell Island, on disc for the first time, featuring a restoration from the original 16mm camera negative and an island full of bloodthirsty extras that include partial commentary with director Mike Stanley, interviews with Mike Stanley and writer Robert Hutton, test footage, preservation VHS version from 1-inch tape master, all region. It's great. There's really nothing quite like it, and I just love it. I think it's just nuts. Just seeing these people on this island. Yes, they're not the greatest actors, but that's okay. Seeing them chased by these puppets. There's great shots of the puppets running. It's not like Muppets running. It's like something else. Like, I can't even describe how they did it, but it is an absolute blast, and I love it, and I'm so excited to get this wonderfully nice version of it on Blu-ray from AGFA, who always does a wonderful job with their stuff, and it's going to look better than it's ever looked, restored from 16 millimeter. That's fantastic. Okay, so then we have Frostbiter, Wrath of the Wendigo on Blu-ray, and this one I know nothing about. Absolutely nothing. It is apparently from 1995 and looks to have some really crazy effects. It says, long ago, the mighty Wendigo was defeated and buried in a secret place known only to select individuals tasked with protecting this unholy ground, lest it be revived from the grave. When two arrogant hunters, Gary and Dave, stumble upon the Wendigo's final resting place and kill its elderly protector, they unknowingly revive the ancient demon, which gorily dispatches Dave. Taking refuge with another group of hunters in a nearby cabin, the posse are set upon by all sorts of ghoulish creatures, not the least of which is the Wendigo itself. So that's really cool. It's a monster movie. Highly stylized camera work and editing. Sounds like Raimi-esque, gory, restored in 2K from its 16mm camera negative, and bursting with extras. So, brand new commentary with co-writer, director Tom Chaney, and moderated by Michael Felcher. Wendigo Make a Movie interview with co-writer, director Tom Chaney. The Many Hats of a Wendigo interview with producer Tom Theory. What were we thinking? An interview with actor Alan Madeleine. And Frankenstein's Wendigo, an interview with stop-motion animator Dave Hetmer, and more. A whole bunch of archival extras. Wow, this thing is just loaded with stuff. So clearly a movie that it's, one that I know people know of, but I just haven't been aware of. So looks like some great practical effects and some stylized horror, and that's up my alley. So Frostbiter. And then last we have Infernal Rapist, a title I've heard before, and a movie that I've heard is actually pretty good. Carlos, a serial rapist known as Elgato, is strapped to an electric chair and executed for his vicious crimes, but before crossing over into the afterlife, Carlos is visited by a satanic spirit in the form of a beautiful woman who makes him an offer he cannot pass up. After literally making a deal with the devil, Carlos is brought back to life, allowed to continue his drug-fueled spree of rape and murder in order to appease his new satanic ruler. However, the police are hot on the trail as they discover that his new wave of killings seem linked to Elgato, thanks in part to the signature Carlos is required to leave behind at each murder scene, a 666 carved in each victim's body. This is from 1988, so it sounds like it precedes Shocker, which it sounds like it resembles. An unbelievably savage movie proves that Mexico is one of the heavy hitters when it comes to making great genre films. Newly scanned and restored in 4K from its original 35mm camera negative, presented in its original Spanish language soundtrack, brand new interview with actor Juan Moro, actor Fidel Abrego, and actor Arturo Mason, audio essay by critic and author Alexandra Heller Nicholas, versatile artwork. Sounds like an interesting one. Like I said, I haven't seen it, but its reputation precedes it. So that is it for my Vinegar Syndrome package. I'm sure I have some more titles from the partner labels to talk about at some point soon, but I wanted to just unbox this and get it up because I know a lot of people are going to be putting these up soon and you're going to get tired of seeing them pretty soon. But definitely a lot of cool stuff to check out here. Again, highlights for me are the Vinegar Syndrome Labs titles, and I can't wait to dig into those, as well as the From Beyond 4K and even the Sidekicks 4K for that matter. It's a good box, I gotta say. Not a disappointing box at all, and definitely a bunch of stuff I'm looking forward to checking out. So Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. And I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.